You are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
Dub T motherfucking dub, ho.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves, and this is episode 125. Hello, everybody. Welcome, beautiful people, yet again to another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. Like I said, I am your host, Claudia Renee. I am very grateful to be here yet again another week here with you guys. 125 weeks to be exact, but who's counting?
Who's counting?
Evidently, yes.
It's a little bit more than that, but I mean, but then again.
I want to give a shout out to each and every single one of you guys that is listening at this moment, wherever it is that you are listening to us from, whether it be in the car, at the barbershop, in your room, in the backyard while you're smoking, while you're cleaning the house, whatever it is that you do.
Or while you're inside the house smoking. Crack open the window.
For real.
Light up the incense.
Whatever it is, I appreciate y'all. That means that you guys are subscribed. And if you are not yet subscribed, make sure that you go ahead and hit that little subscribe button with the little bell on the side. Mm-hmm. That way you get notified each and every single time that we drop a new podcast, a new video, a new song. It is WTW Saturday, and this is a new episode. We did drop a new song by How 600 in the building.
That's right.
For those of you that are not watching us on YouTube, I'm letting you guys know that I am not alone today. I brought back the boys, Hav and Spitz. So guys, without further ado, give it up for my co-host for today.
Hey, we are here.
We're still negotiating that 10-episode contract again.
Right.
It looks like it's back on the table.
It might be. We might have to renegotiate.
Yeah, we're back
we'll
on
negotiations.
We might have to renegotiate with Marty in there because that was a good episode last week.
No, oh yeah, for sure,
right?
for sure.
Spitz, last I heard from my lawyer, was that
I was gonna dig Johnny Cochran. I mean, we gonna need him on the table to negotiate this. For real.
but he was saying that he has a Marty clause. He's only gonna do episodes from
Marty.
Here on out with
after
Marty.
this one.
Facts. Partner in crimes.
I mean, that's my homie, so I fuck with it. But yeah, so shout out to everybody who is listening. I appreciate you so much. I wanted to go ahead and shout out because last week we had some comments from somebody new that I had seen. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I appreciate you. We love engagement and all that good stuff.
I was laughing because I was thinking about choking the bitch.
Oh, was that about like y'all conversation like yesterday?
Oh, yeah, that was the other. That was yesterday.
Before we get into the meat of the conversation.
Oh, my bad. Wow.
I'm gonna start today's episode like how I start every single episode, and it's with a gratitude, guys. What are we grateful for this week? Spitz, you are first.
Oh man, we're going in circles.
Spitz.
I got you. Don't worry. So I'm grateful for having conversations.
Go ahead, Kobe.
I'm ready to shoot, Coach.
Thanks.
I'm ready to shoot today, Coach.
Let's do it.
But yeah, I'm grateful to have conversations like that. Right. I guess that we'll expose on a little bit more. But just just conversation, meddling of the minds, type shit. Just growth conversations with people that you could have that with, and putting you on game to some shit, or you learning some new shit.
That's a fact. I would say I'm grateful for the newfound knowledge, of the Juneteenth. I never knew of this and all of these other pretty much things that we're finding out as of late, and it's very educational that I'm getting to know a lot about some things that I didn't really know about.
You weren't privy to.
Exactly.
That's a great point.
So shout out to Juneteenth.
Yeah, before I say what I'm grateful for, happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Hey, we are recording this on Juneteenth.
We are with
and a celebration.
It's a celebration, like.
Yeah.
I've always seen it on the calendar, and I always knew what it was because of the shows that I've decided to watch, and also because I've always loved African American history, and because it is American history.
Facts.
So it's a holiday that I'm really happy that is being celebrated, and it's not being celebrated as in just parties, but because I've seen some parties on Instagram, but it's also being celebrated as in getting to know the history as well as the history, but also like supporting Black businesses and supporting Black creators and things like that. There's been so many different things there. So so shout out to that. Like how Spitz says, I'm sure that there's other people who have learned as well. And if you guys don't know, You should definitely Google it.
Do the Googleables.
Yes,
Big facts.
I am grateful for this week. So this week I am extremely grateful for being able to renew my space. So I was able to renew my space as in
Like the social media site?
No.
Oh.
I renewed my my room. The room that I sleep in. I was able to just revamp it and change it and bring new energy in and bring new vibes, and I just feel like my creativity cuz I was feeling super creative these past couple of weeks, and it has to do, of course, with the podcast and like with the brand and everything that happens. But sometimes it's not just that your creativity needs to flourish in. There's also other things that we need to flourish in with as far as our creativity. And I felt like my room was one of them. And I was able to create. Yeah, I was able to create my own sanctuary. So I'm very grateful for that. Hey.
Yeah, if one thing I do before I leave every morning, I make my bed up.
Making your bed every morning is so. I'm so happy you brought that up, Spitz. Because
that's a fact. That
because
important,
and then when you come
important.
back home or when you go back to your room and you see that your bed is made, it's like, oh, you sexy. I can't wait to get in you later.
I'm about to get inside you.
Oh man.
I'm about to get all inside you.
All up in you.
Sorry, I went
No,
extra.
but it's the truth. It's very true, Spitz. You do not want a wet bed.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Whoa.
But yeah, so that's actually very important, the whole making your bed. Every time that I make my bed, I always want to tweet it. I'm like, y'all ain't living until y'all make y'all bed. It's so like it's important. Even when I was working, I would always make it a point, like waking up super early and then still making your bed.
I think it's mental too. It's more like a clear mind. It's the same thing when you come home to a clean home. You know, it's not your mind is clear. It's not cluttered with a bunch of junk. When you come home, you see a bunch of junk, so it's still junk in your mind and stuff. You know, like at least you can come home to something that's clear, and it can help you clear your mind. You know, that's
because that's why I
keep it
said
clean.
I created my room like a sanctuary, because at the end of the day, like, imagine I'm there. If I'm not somewhere else, I'm there, basically. You know what I mean? Right. So I need to basically create that space that I'm just going to feel comfortable with, that it's going to be clutter free. I've even been thinking about getting rid of my TV, guys. I wonder if anybody in like the audience or anything like that has ever gone through that, where they're just like, I want to get rid of my fucking TV. I'm just going to read books. I'm going to indulge in, like, you know, becoming that, and I'm going to meditate. And I did that very passionately, but it's because sometimes that's what needs to happen in order for us to like be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But yes. So we left off with some topics from last week that we didn't get to discuss. Hav, can you bring them up? Yeah, was there one? Because, okay, so one of the ones that I did want to talk about was online dating.
Bada bing, bada
I didn't want to. I'm excited because I don't have to talk about it by myself.
Dark, deep web of internet dating. I mean, when do you want to take it to? Bob. I mean, do we take it back like the first time we online dated, or? Because I remember I used to get a little nasty on the MySpace back then.
On the MySpace?
Talk about it. Yeah, with a couple girls I ain't meet, you know, from a couple other schools. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's actually
pull up on you, but I never really pulled up on her.
I can't blame you.
You know what I mean? Type shit. No one.
Well, no, I actually reconnected with a guy that I had a crush on because of MySpace, and me and him ended up dating. So
I've gotten some ass off of MySpace.
My dog got pussy off.
That's what I'm saying. When do we want to talk about it? Was that the first?
Facebook. Got the ass off face.
The
Meet Me site. The Meet Me app. It was. It's an app called Meet Me.
Wait, does Craigslist count, or is that not
Craigslist? That's wild.
I mean, I don't knock you if you're paying for it. So you feel me? If you know.
Those who know know, and you're nasty for living that lifestyle.
Ain't nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Shout out to the sex workers.
They got to get their bread.
They got to get their bread. Someone's paying for it. Someone got to pay for it.
Exactly. So what would you say was the first? Okay, so we have MySpace, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. That these kind of serve as like a middle point for you to, like, it's not pressure. But the thing with these type of applications is that it's not a dating app, so you can slide in someone's DM and there's no 100% guarantee that you guys will end up dating or even if a relationship will flourish because, again, it's Instagram. So let's take away Instagram, Twitter, all of these social media apps, and let's get into these actual, the ones
Dating
that are,
apps.
that they are like swipe right, swipe left. I would like to know, what was it that, I guess, made it intriguing for you guys to want to join these sites?
Well, all right. As of late, I haven't joined any of those sites. But when I did join those sites,
Sounds like privilege.
whoa, that's crazy. When I did join those sites,
You're right.
exactly. No, I'm just playing. When I did join those sites, the urge to be on it was because I was like, yo, I'm not really going out like that and meeting people and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the majority of the people I was meeting was through friends and stuff like that. So I was just like, I ain't on this. And so I just started finding certain apps, which was like I say, like the Plenty of Fish, the Meet Me app,
Christian Mingle.
Spitz, you were on Christian Mingle. He was dropping Bible verses on them.
I was remembering a couple of scriptures or two. No, let me stop.
Gotcha.
No. People.
And
But
then
hey,
God
if you want,
said,
if you are angry, get in the comments.
give him the pussy.
But when I was, I mean, I felt like I kind of was in my bag, like a little bit, because it felt like I guess easy to come at somebody through text or something like that, because they kind of knew what it was because of the site. They knew this person wants this.
Yeah.
Right.
He wants a
We
relationship,
would text
or
it back and forth, and now it's time to get it cracking.
right, this person want to fuck, just something like that.
Let's be
Saying,
honest.
gotta be blunt, and it might work out for you.
So what about you?
I mean, the same thing, like kind of like what he was saying, like you just not really meeting new people or something like that, or you don't want to meet someone from work or through someone, kind of been doing that for a while, and it's like, maybe try to switch things up, and you just kind of go on these apps. Sometimes you do go for, scoundering and sniping, especially if you're out of town and you're looking, very purposeful with your movements.
That has to be deleted. He giving up free game, people. Sorry.
Edit point.
But there's a couple edit points.
Gotta edit that out.
But yeah, like shit like that. The chance against some punani. But I was also like, even like saying like, shit, man, those apps is really like the biggest pimp, because they give you the idea of even like love and just put like a dollar amount on it, and it's the best thing, because it's really not to not set stress trafficking or anything like that, but it's still it's still consensual or whatever like that, because you're messaging someone. There are people that catfish and shit like that.
Facts.
And that's the only thing I really don't like about these apps though too. Like even when you do get to talking, or even when you do match, because it's not even like shit be popping off like that or whatever like that. But yeah, when it does, you're still kind of like skeptical. Like, is this even the person?
Always.
You know what I mean?
Do
Always.
you guys report
You know what I
them? Like if you feel like they're fake?
Nah,
Nah,
I never really gotten that far. Yeah, I just know like a couple of shit, like a couple of there's a couple of messages off the rip.
I mean,
how the bitch come off. Like, it's just
I'm gonna tell you what made me get off of that shit. Like, cause it was
because you married now.
Damn. What made me
escalated.
What made me facts.
That escalated very quickly.
Just found the cliff and jumped off it. What made me get off the app was
guys.
facts. It was so many like gay dudes on there, and like they was just like I was like, yo, this is not it.
You
and then
had the filter on.
nah, because like it's not even that. It's like they like people
put even do the
like,
weird shit. Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of it's kind of weird. Like, so like
because you signed up as a girl, but then your name is
I mean like and man, like they was going hard like that. That's why I was just like, yo, what in the hell is going on with this app? I'm like, what's going on here? I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm out of Plenty of Fish, because it ain't no fish in there. Straight sausages in that motherfucker.
I've been wanting to bring this into the podcast, but I never felt 100% comfortable talking about it, like by myself.
Right.
And so for me, the reason why I decided to get like on a dating app was because we were quarantined, right? And so my sister was like, shout out to my sister. She was just like, why don't you just get,
Great
she was
idea.
just like, why don't you just get on one of these dating apps? Like right now they're like super popular because like everybody's on them and like you never know who you're gonna meet and like all this stuff. And then at first I was just like, bro, this is so fucking whack. Like, why am I gonna get on this app and now have to swipe right and swipe left for these dudes and like all this shit, and then you have to like it was different because of the app that I decided to use. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I shared it last time, or the time that I was by myself, that I was on Bumble.
Right.
And being on Bumble is very interesting because as a woman, you're the one who's basically in charge if the conversation gets started, and you're also the one in charge of what gets said first. So it's kind of like, I'm the type that like, if you're gonna message me first, like a hey, what's up, the fucking sky.
What's up is not a response. That's what's up.
Exactly. So I'm the type that like, I like the first impression, the first text,
Right.
like what you really talking about, like, you know. So for me as a woman, I felt the need to, I had to come correct as well. So as far as the dating app went, like that's what happened. My sister ended up telling me about it, and I was just kind of like, you know, I don't know. I don't really know if I'm really looking for something, like still in that same idea of like, you know. And then she's just like, when we go out, you don't when we go out, you
Peer
don't want to,
pressure.
yeah, you
Peer
don't want to
pressure.
talk to dudes. And then when this and that, like how do you expect to find a man? And I'm just like, I'm really not looking for one. So it's kind of like, for me, I guess, and this is gonna go into the follow-up for you guys, is like, for me as a woman, like I feel like at some point, like I'm not pressured to be on a dating site, but I feel like there is somewhat of like a, hey, you know, maybe don't be so like weird and just try it, you know, like just try it and just see how it goes, because you never know how it's going to end up. So do you guys ever feel like, for you guys it's probably just like it's not that deep, huh?
What, like, as far as like
Getting on those sites.
Yeah, like
No,
getting
like,
on
yeah.
those sites
from
yeah.
people, like pressure from people, like.
Well, not from I didn't feel pressure because I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
But you know, with her just saying that, it's kind of like, for me, it's almost like an awakening. It's kind of like, it's something
because, you know, you're
wrong
usually-
with me because I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, and it's just like you're meeting people a different way than you're used to, right? Or like, oh, this is not how I expect to meet my person.
Future partner,
Is
yeah.
it's almost like the same mentality of like that bitch in the club that be like she's at the strip club and she'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to anybody because I'm not gonna meet my husband here. It's just like, but wait, but you here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're
So
here.
like, what, like, it doesn't matter. You know, like, oh, so it doesn't matter. Like, you're here, so why is it a knock on him that he's here?
All right.
You know what I mean? Type shit. So like, it's the same mentality because you're just like, I'm not gonna meet someone on here for real. That's gonna be a serious relationship. You know what I mean? And there's even times that, bro, you know, you just go on there and just bum. You right. Because just you know, like, it's almost like a fucking thing to do. You know what I mean? Like,
I just think like as like how you say, it's more because dudes, that's our angle. Like, our angle is to, you know, try to talk to women. But as far as like women, when you like how that's not to say it was like you're pressured or nothing like that. It's more along the lines of like you thinking of society, of people on the outside like judging you for using the site, more so. You know?
I feel judged while I'm talking about it on the podcast.
Right, like you're like they, you know, like
instead of shameless.
like damn, like really, you gotta use a dating site, like
Yeah.
damn girl, you like damn girl, you doing bad, like, but
No,
at the same
you know
time,
what's the worst is when they're like, why are you single?
right, like like what? Why is the sky blue? Come on, it's a reflection of Earth. But see what they don't realize is that like you should always move on your own drum and on your own beat.
Yeah.
And like putting that like type of like pressure on you, being that like you're doing something, you're trying something new, which it's kind of like an insecure thing on them because they know they would do it if they was in that situation. You know, because people would do things in certain situations.
Desperate
like
times calls for
so
desperate
like
measures,
it's a numbers game, and it runs in that favor more along the lines than it doesn't. So the same people that's saying like or like frowning and seeing like, damn, like, yo, you on the site, like, okay, like, all right, how you got in your situation? Like, come on, like you fell upon in that situation, like, you know, like you didn't really like go out and make your situation how it is.
Speaking of numbers, did anybody want to add anything before I continue? Because okay, so speaking of numbers, I was talking to the boys yesterday, and I was trying to find out why men insist on having the girl's number.
Oh, this is crazy.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying I despise giving my number out. I do not like giving my number out. Why? Sometimes people don't know how to act with your number. They send you things that you may not want. Now, if I'm asking for it, it's very different. It's very different. It's very consensual. But if you're over here being like super crazy on my phone, I'm gonna block you, you know? And so I despise giving my phone number out. I'm very selective on who I give it out to. And that's just me protecting my peace, because at one point my phone was on social media because of the business that I was doing, and that's one of the reasons why I get the weird ass messages that I do, because people keep the number even if I deleted it. And it's crazy that they wait like years to
I'm gonna hit her with this.
Yeah. To say some
2022
like some crazy fucking
This a good
shit.
angle.
Yeah, so
finally got that shot.
Yeah, so
this is the one to send her.
So one of the things that I've noticed on these sites is the whole asking for the number. Like, oh, hey, I don't use this app, so, you know, here's my number. Then why
slick ass niggas.
Exactly.
Everybody trying to get out of that app because you ain't trying to
slick.
open that app.
Yeah.
Niggas is slick. Oh, the trick in the book.
So I was expressing this to the boys yesterday, and I was basically telling them how I don't like giving my number out, and like, what is the big deal on the whole numbers thing. So whichever one of you boys is ready to go ahead and break that down. Spence, you did a really good job yesterday on doing that, so I might need you to take this alley-oop from me.
Oh, all right. Numbers to us males, us guys, it's pretty much just something so we can go back and like if I go out, right? If I go out and I get like 2 numbers or whatever, because to actually get a girl's number, you just heard what she just said, people. I don't like giving my number out. Like, so imagine somebody go out, right? And they see her not giving
before
like,
quarantine
nobody,
people.
Yeah, chill. Don't come at us. No, come at us in the comments, please. I want your comments. If they see her like basically not, you know, like giving play to other guys or whatever, and then they come up and they're able to get like her number, right? And let's say he knew those guys. You know, like, hey, let's say he knew those guys. He's like, nigga.
Guess whose number I
what,
got?
nigga? Look at this, nigga.
Oh, y'all trying to talk to her.
It's really a
locked in Wednesday.
Facts. It's like a badge of honor, a trophy, like, and
a number on the board.
Ladies, are y'all listening to this?
Your boys respect the fuck out of you because most dudes cannot get numbers. You understand me what I'm saying? Like, it's not very common. You feel me? Like, and how they run in situations, they usually like get like muscled into it, like by a girl or whatever. So, but
damn, should we say
if
about what? Never mind. Keep on going.
If you have that mentality and that talk game to actually get a number, get 3 numbers, get 4 numbers,
multiple numbers.
My guy, listen, don't believe it. You feel me? Like, it, because if you see dudes, he's like, man, fuck that nigga. He really is like, damn, man, like, yo, he's the shit. Like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so it's not really hating him like that. He hates the fact that he can't do it. So if it's any guy that like that you just like, nah, man, like he's hating on him. Nah, man, he's hating on that situation. Like the fact that he can't do that.
Yeah, that he can't do the
right? Because it's so hard to talk to a woman because they know off rip that like, yo, this motherfucker wants to fuck me, and I know off rip, I don't want to fuck him. But if he sit there enough and he talks to her and he convinces her like, this motherfucker's interesting. Here, get my number. That is the best shit in the world.
But you know what's funny is that that's happened to me before. I don't feel like I've ever been 100% pressured into giving my number to a dude. But there was a time that there have been times where like it's a cool vibe, it's like nice, it's everything, and then it's just like, you know what? I'll give my number to this guy. They don't do anything with that number. So sometimes it's kind of just like, it's like how you said it. It's like I got this number. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, I got this number. That means
I could have pulled her.
Yeah, like, or even like I got her number, so maybe the next bitch I might get something else.
Well, and that's the thing I was gonna say, because while he was saying, for those guys who don't get the numbers right, there's hope for you yet. My boy Spitz got it to me and him are working on this step-by-step tutorial that we will be able to purchase for about $7.99 per month. Yeah, and
that's a good price, people. It's a good price, $7.99 per month.
No, $70.99.
Damn.
I mean $799. I'm kidding. All right. So So every dog does have his day. You know, sometimes you motherfucker go into court. You know what I mean? You know, you never had that friend. He a little wetter that day. You're just like,
yeah,
man,
I know what you mean.
He's shooting. So what I'll say is that sometimes too, when you do get a number right, it's almost like momentum picks up, as if you will, if you would say, right?
Ain't that the truth?
So then, like when you do get numbers, or if it's
call it the flow. We call it the flow, ladies and gentlemen.
We call it the flow in the locker room.
It's called the flow.
When the flow is upon thee, And yeah, so like let's say you get 2-3 numbers that in that night, you may hit one of those the next day. You know what I mean? So what really, I guess my point was, there's hope for you yet. You know, maybe it's not your day, or don't hate. If Spitz is having a night, I am Dwayne Wade to his LeBron James. I am Scottie Pippen, right? I am trying to do anything.
And if he's LeBron that night, motherfucker, I'm Wade. Understand it. You got to know your role, people. Know your role. Like, yo, you're not wet tonight, all right?
Facts. If his jokes is hitting, his jokes is hitting extra hard.
Okay, so I'm bringing these conversations up front because I feel like these are conversations that need to be spoken about, because I feel like, number one, it's not talked about enough.
Yeah, ladies don't get a chance to be in the locker room.
Like, yeah, y'all know that I bring them on here to ask them questions, even though we've already talked about it.
We willing to get free game.
We're exposing a lot.
But it was funny because I was talking to them about a story on how I was like having a really good time like out. And how the dude, like, he brought me to, like, his friends.
Oh, this is
He, like, brought me to his friends. And, like, I didn't understand it. Like, I didn't understand why he did that. And then, like, yeah, like, I didn't care either. He was just like, hey, like, my friend, my brother's over there. Like, do you want to go meet them? And I was just like, okay. I mean, like, we're having a great time over here. But, okay, whatever.
I guess.
Yeah, like, I guess.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So I go, and I end up meeting his people. And then I'm there, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? And I just left. So I tell these dudes this. Spitz says he did that so they believe him.
Oh yeah, no, cause like, well, yeah, cause this is how it goes. Like if like, cause we like, she was like, why do you think he did that? And we was like, yo, it's either two reasons, you know, like he either genuinely wanted to take you over there to like meet his peoples, and you know what I'm saying, like, yo, whatever, and it was genuine, or he don't really get numbers like that, and he's
a fucking cornball.
He's a lying ass nigga. So they was
like, I gotta bring her back.
He's like, yo, I gotta bring a girl over here.
Yeah, facts.
I gotta bring them around the boys so they could be like, yo, this round's on you. Yeah, we got these. Yeah, this butt's for you. We got these drinks for you, bro. Like, cause you just don't get them. Like, cause it's all like remember we were speaking on like the guy that gets the girls. He sits there and like off the fucking rip, you know, whatever comes out of his fucking mouth is the truth. And you're just like, damn, you had what? How many? She did what? Damn. What? Yeah, boy. God damn. Well, you's a wild boy. You's a wild boy. Then you got this lying ass nigga that you know this nigga don't never. So he just telling you like, he's like, yeah, and yeah, man, and yeah, she was about an 8. His 8 is like a 4. Like, bro, like yeah, a liar. You're a liar. So
You're a liar.
What we trying to get around to, what we trying to get around to is like if he actually did, you know, like be successful and do get a number, or he's at the party and at the, you know, the function, and he can like show proof to motherfuckers so they can stop bagging him. Right. He's like, please come with me, like,
because the group definitely knows the last time you hit something. You know what I mean? Or like brought something through. So.
You on the clock, buddy. Like they're like, yo, all right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. We got you. We see you.
Yeah, but we was also saying, like, if it was a genuine vibe, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, because also, like, what I was saying is, like, when you are out and you dancing with a girl, you know what I mean? Like, already, that's already just, like, a intimate moment or, like, a spirited moment type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, she could, like, you know, you could just dance for 1 or 2 songs and that'd be it. You know what I mean? And then that's it. That's your night. Your night's over with that girl. You know what I mean? So, if you're dancing for a while and then, like, you know, you got a couple drinks, whatever like that, and I got the boys over there, you know what I mean? Or I got, like, let's say I got my people, like, you know, I got Claudia Spitz in the building. I want to go back, want to fill me up a drink, you know what I mean? And just loosen up the vibe. If she says yes, I'm kind of coming back, that kind of defeats, like, the whole, if she look back, then she goes away, you know, because that's happened before, you know what I mean? Like, she'll look, you're dancing or whatever like that. She'll turn around and
she's like, what?
Like, what?
That's the dude I thought was coming.
Oh, but I always think that, do I look like I'm too into it? Because I'm like, oh, hey. I'm like,
that boy be using his fuck face on the dance floor. Wrong face off. Wrong face off.
There's a time and a place for that face.
For real.
Time and a place for that face. So, it's 11:11.
So, make a wish. So like, damn, like, you know, so like, I'm thinking like, all right, so if it was cool enough to bring you back, or like you was cool enough to do that with, like, all right, cool, that's good. But if not, if it was on some shit like to show you off or showcase, kind of like how Spitz saying, like, I finally got one, fellas. Look at this, you know what I mean? Like, then that's corn shit. We don't respect it. You trash. You whack. That was one stab for the night.
It just needs to be. Just like the like, cause me personally, like, you're not gonna be around like my friends the first time we meet, because like what if within that month we don't talk no more or whatever? They be like, what happened to that girl you was in the club with? Now, what happened to that girl you talked to when we see in the club? Like,
y'all was looking like y'all was in love that
for
night.
real. It's like, and then they gonna rag your ass again. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a circle. Like, he knows. I was saying that I'm the type to, like, I'll have the best night of my life with you and never see you again, and I'll be okay. Yo, those nights, listen,
be the best.
Those nights be the best. Like,
they're hitting them up right now. So what happened to that girl you brought around us? Talk about your ass on the podcast, nigga.
You know what's funny, Spitz, is that one time, I don't know if you know this, but I know he knows this, that there was a guy that I literally stopped talking to because he asked me where I was at, and I was with y'all. It was the time that you were performing. That Ishi and Yans came through, and it was like all of us.
Oh, that was that was for
Bree Daddy's event. Shout out to Bree Daddy. Bree Daddy just came out with her own software. For like content creators. Is so dope. You can donate. Her GoFundMe page is on her Instagram. It's Bree Daddy on Instagram. I have it on my story. It's probably not gonna be there anymore. But yeah. So at that event, so he hits me up on some kind of like, where you at? Because he saw my story. So it was kind of like, you know, where you at? Kind of like trying to pull up, and I was just like, I do not want this guy to meet any of my friends.
I don't know what you talking about.
Damn, you see that force?
I was like, none of them. Not one of them. Like, you don't just, no. And I blocked him.
Oh. Ooh, ouch.
I know.
Hey, but it.
That's
why I'm niggas get blocked ADB.
Every fucking day.
That's a.
Listen, sometimes we'll be mid conversation and you get blocked. I don't give a fuck. Damn, this is episode 125, so might as well, if we're gonna go in like this, we're gonna go in, right?
Let's go for the gusto, baby.
Let's go for the gusto, baby.
Fuck it.
But yeah, so those have been some of, like, I guess, like, the interesting stories that I wanted to share and talk about, because I think it's something that we all go through, but we don't always talk about, because there is, like, a stigma when it comes to, like, online dating, or even when you go out. Like, do you want to be that girl that every time she goes out, she not just dances with a guy, but she goes home with a guy, or
Right.
you know what I mean?
Or like dancing with multiple other people because that looks a little certain way. So it's like,
What's
I
what's
for the
never-
ladies, you know what I mean? Like,
Huh?
damn.
What's up with that girl though? What's she?
What?
At?
The girl that's
The
dancing
girl,
with
yeah, 'cause
everybody?
I ain't never meet that girl, man. The
Facts.
girl that like, you go out. I always went out. I heard stories about my dogs, like the ones I'm talking about. Like, shout out to them. Y'all niggas is some beasts. Like, how you go home with them? Like, damn. I was like, damn. I need a story like that. It's coming.
It's coming soon,
I mean,
baby.
first of all, you got to go out for that to happen.
Hey.
During these circumstances, the only way we could go out is through Tinder, through Bumble.
It's a pandemic.
There's a
Like,
pandemic. the HUD.
So,
whatever the fuck.
I wanted to go ahead and introduce a conversation of this Dave Chappelle special. Did you watch it, Spitz?
Yeah, my homie sent it to me, Hav. So like,
you
I
got to
appreciate
watch
that.
it?
I appreciate that.
Got you.
First thoughts. What do you guys think?
Genius, right? Like,
Yeah, I would say I use that word. Yeah, I would use it.
Like, you don't even
Great way to use a platform.
He was so strong. Like the way he came in with it. I loved the like the strongness, even the knowledge that he had.
Passion.
Passion. I felt like like how you guys said, like he used his platform very well, and his jokes were good.
Yeah.
So, I like how one of the things that I like that comedians can do is when they can bring old jokes into their stand up today and make it relevant, like with the whole Ja Rule thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy how he never knew that was gonna turn into something that would apply to almost every single thing that happens. like no one gives a fuck about what Ja Rule gotta say.
Shout out to Ja Rule though.
He was out there.
Yeah, shout out to Ja.
It was really cool because he said it's the first time that something like that has ever been done since the pandemic has started.
Right.
So it was really cool because it was like outdoors, everybody was separated, there was some people wearing masks and stuff, so it was really nice to kind of see how events would be, post pandemic, or post, not pandemic because we're still in the middle of it, I would say post quarantine. Yeah,
He said that's going to be the first actual show.
Yeah, it is the first actual show.
Yeah, so that's history right there. And he used it the right way. He used it correctly. So.
He used it correctly. Like how we were saying, like it was just
It was a perfect cliff, perfect place to tip the cap or leave the cap on that joke. I thought there was a way that you couldn't categorize this too. And another conversation that me and Spitz had was really because we had this ongoing debate, you know what I mean? We respect both of these guys. We're both fans of both of these guys, Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle, kind of like an argument, a back and forth of who's better. He's my GOAT. Jordan Kobe shit, you know what I mean? Type of conversation with that. And he was like,
it's like on a serious, like a serious tone.
Yeah, exactly.
A very serious
pause,
tone.
Like a pregnant pause happened, and you okay? I divulged this information, right? And he uses basically that's it, man. I think that tops him.
like him.
This right here puts him in a different category of his own, and I think it does. Also, what I think it does too in his work. Like, if you want to binge watch everything of Chappelle, even seeing this is even perfect. And I feel like it's like a perfect bookend to a certain chapter, like to this certain time, and then whatever comes after. You know what I mean? Like, no matter if it's more stand-ups, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck, like if he does another movie or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just think that is genius. Shout out to Chappelle. We didn't need it, but we did need it.
Yeah, we did need
more it. More than you ever think,
I mean, because what you speaking on about the whole, the reason why he surpassed him and stuff like that is because, the approach he's taken, towards, I would say, activism, but it's really, it's really going through speech, jokes, because, Patrice O'Neal said this. He said,
R.I.P. the GOAT.
R.I.P. the GOAT. He said, comedy is not supposed to be funny. It's not. You're supposed to have some people get the joke, but if I got people in the crowd fucking angry or whatever, that's perfect. Because it's supposed to make you feel a certain way. You, that's your platform. Use it correctly. That, R.I.P. him, because he used to do that same thing with, just speaking of life and just keeping it like
uncomfortable,
very
real,
keeping people very uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
And,
I wouldn't say disrespectful, uncomfortable.
Yeah, because uncomfortable is the perfect way, because like the perfect word to use, because like that stand up with Dave Chappell, people were uncomfortable because you sat there and you was just like, yay, we're gonna get jokes,
right?
You know, yay, you know, like, and just like. And he's like, yo, this shit ain't fucking funny. Like, and it's serious. Like, he really took it there. And like how you say, yeah, it was jokes in there. It was jokes. It was jokes in there. But it was so powerful because he took it to the point where he was like, nah, like, I'm gonna make everybody uncomfortable. Like, the hell with the hell with these jokes.
Damn, yeah.
You get me what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm everybody. Like,
so
I'm talking about this all the way through.
The thing is that what is happening in America right now is not funny. Like, there are people who are being hung and the police is deciding to rule it as suicide. And it's just kind of like, what black person in America is going to hang themselves as a suicide? Like, and why is it that when people are doing lower class type of crimes, they're being treated very differently as opposed to somebody who is getting hung? So for him, and I feel like anybody who, I don't want to say platform, because I just feel like when you say like, I've heard platform so many times these past couple of weeks, because we all feel the need to be able to express ourselves in our platforms. But platform to me now, I feel like now that's like a pedestal almost. Like, it's like I'm gonna say this on my pedestal because you know what I mean? So for me, it's not so much now as like my platform. For me, it's just who I am. So who I am sees these things and is very upset, is very mad. I'm going to use that to express that. So when I bring that up because it upsets me. I see this on the news. I'm heartbroken. I see like even like with Rayshard Brooks. Like, that's really, really sad what happened to him. Like, I think about
which one was that?
Rayshard Brooks was the one who was falling asleep
in the Wendy's. Okay, yeah, I seen that one. That was so.
And you know what? Something that upsets me. He was sleeping in the drive-thru. Why ain't nobody just try to wake him up?
Well, he was sleeping because he was drunk. So he basically was trying to like sleep it off, like, and that's a big problem right there. Cause like, how can you be like, yo, I'm not gonna drive, I'm not gonna drink and drive, right?
Yeah. And
you still get fucked with. Yeah. Like that's the craziest shit. Like.
But was he in the actual drive-thru, or
he was in the parking lot,
and then someone saw him, and then that's the thing. Like, why would you bother somebody that's doing that? Like, if they fall asleep, like, okay, like, I don't know. I feel like there's just different steps that you could have taken, but the reason why those steps weren't taken was because he was black.
All right.
So
nobody didn't want to walk up and ask him what was going on.
Knock on the window and be like, "Yo, you good?" Or maybe even not call the police, and that's one of the reasons why they're so big on the defunding the police, is because now we don't want to have to call the police because they clearly don't know how to treat citizens of the United States. So why should we be calling them? And first of all, I really want to know why the police officers have not been arrested that killed Teyana Taylor. Like, that is still beyond me.
That is crazy.
There have been protests for 20 days, and still these men are still police officers, and that's.
They have footage. They have footage of
Oh, this nasty, the footage they got on all these situations.
Well, this one right here, I watched this one, and it was a white guy, and he basically hunts ducks or something like that with a pelican gun, right? And he went into his motel, right? His motel room with his girlfriend. And I guess somebody seen the pelican gun or whatever, right? So they called the police and said he had a rifle or whatever, right? So you see them I watched this whole shit, bro. Like, you see the guy and the girl come, like they I guess they come around the corner and shit like that in the hallway, and they stop and they're like, put your fucking hands up. And so then they put their hands up, and the girl like, get down on the fucking floor. The girl gets down on the floor, and the dude gets down on the floor. The way he was talking to him, bruh. Like, it was sick. Like, he's like, oh, I'll fucking shoot you right now. Like, and like, cause he's like the guy, like, and you hear this dude like crying. Yeah, you understand me what I'm saying? About it, like, I can't even explain everything, but He's telling him to cross his legs, all this weird shit, right?
Weird shit. It sounds confusing.
This is what he told him to do and how they killed him. He has his hands up like this, and he's like, "Oh, crawl over to me." This guy's crawling over to him, and he falls down on the ground. And when he tried to get back up, they shot him. They shot his ass like fucking 13, 14 times. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, and now I'm just thinking like, okay, white people that are like thinking that us niggas is fucking tripping or whatever. Like, I dare you to watch that footage and take up for these fucking filthy motherfuckers.
The people who are doing this.
Like, please, like watch your own. Like this kid was fucking like hunting. Like,
yeah.
Like come on. Like that's crazy. Like how he died, like I don't know, man. Like I don't know what other footage you need.
Yeah. No, I remember when you saw that. Yeah,
that's sad. That's like what was happening with Frank Castle, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's not Philando. I'm sorry, Philando Castle. Did you ever hear that story that like he got pulled over and he ended up getting shot at? And the footage that to me sticks the most is the footage of his wife and his daughter after already seeing him get shot are in the car, and the mom is like frantic and she's crying and she's screaming and she's super scared, and then you hear the baby couldn't be more than 5 years old, possibly not even older than 4 years old, and she's just like, "It's okay, mommy, don't cry, like I don't want them to kill you," or some shit. Like, I was like, what the heck? Like, there aren't white kids that are going through that.
Yeah.
You know, just
seriously,
like that. If that doesn't like kind of like awaken something in your spirit, I don't know what is. And we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of people pushing back to with the movement, that the revolution that has been started. We see people pushing back, and I still cannot wrap my head around it. Something that's crazy is that Juneteenth originally started in 1865, right? And so for this to have happened in 1865, and for us to still be fighting for black people to stop being brutalized by the police officers, like, it's insane. It's kind of like, no wonder, like, it's a paid holiday now. It's, you know, people are getting the day off. It's a celebration, because it's just kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, this has never even really been a real holiday, because y'all can't even acknowledge that it is a real holiday. You know, you guys are quick to say like, yeah, we're all inclusive and we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. We celebrate what is it? St. Patrick's Day. We celebrate you know, Independence Day, even Thanksgiving. Listen, I'm not gonna stop celebrating Thanksgiving, but I'm saying,
let's stay woke.
But yeah, exactly.
I like that turkey.
Yeah, no, the thing. Well, for me, I enjoy Thanksgiving because of the food, but I also enjoy the gratitude,
family.
the family and the gratitude part.
I like the family aspect of Thanksgiving. That's what I fuck with the most.
Yeah, I love that. That's also my favorite things. But it's a holiday for gratitude for me. So I wanted to say R.I.P. to Oluwatoyin Salau. She was the girl who was out protesting and fighting, you know, for our brothers and sisters, and she exposed the person who was sexually abusing her, and she ended up coming missing the next day, and it was we ended up finding out that she was actually murdered. So that to me breaks my heart as a woman, because for me, when I was sexually abused, I was able to confide in my mother, and she believed me. And this woman, she, you know, spoke up about it, and she ended up coming up dead. And I just fear for the women that see that and are afraid to speak up, because they fear for their lives as well. So I know that there's hotlines. I don't know the numbers and things like that, but the resources are online, ladies.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, even men, like, sometimes, you know, you get sexually abused, and sometimes, like, you don't want to speak up about it in fear of that. But man, don't be afraid. Like, you know, just go to someone that's gonna trust you and believe you. Unfortunately, this young lady was a leader, and she was in front of a lot of people, and she was on the news and all these things. So, you know, you saying something like that on a big platform, I'm sure it's gonna get someone mad. So I did want to say R.I.P. to her. Also, Richard Brooks, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. There's so many. It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Did you guys want to add anything else to that before?
Well, there were little conversations to bounce off what we were talking about was about like this perception on like we're gonna argue with like stuff that we can't argue because it's in the books, you know, in the history books, you know, like and this being like a nasty part of history, so that they don't want to acknowledge it too much. But like even like what we were saying like about Beethoven, we were saying about like you know like black. Yeah, and then that Christopher Columbus and all that stuff is just like you know like we're just gonna
bastard.
We don't really know though like what really happened back then, and really we just got to go off what's written.
Speaking of things we didn't know, I was listening to sports radio today and I found out
Let me guess, that's your favorite.
Of
course,
listen
to it all the time.
I listen to sports radio like just it's a shower to me. And they said something about the Florida Gators.
On the Gator bait.
Yeah.
Ooh, talk about his face.
And like when I heard it, I was just like, what? Like, so what they're saying is that like gator bait back in the days was basically the like they say African American children was like gator bait, like they'd feed them to the alligators. And
can you imagine that?
Yeah,
The thing is that it's real, so
it's real.
Think about your child being fed to a fucking alligator.
What the fuck is this?
Because they are black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Coach K posted it on his Instagram too.
And the crazy part about it is like, cause like when I first heard it, like I was like, cause like I first heard it, I thought like when I read it, like I thought they were talking about like the gator chop. You know, like they do the gator chop and stuff like that, and I was just like, damn, like how is that?
Radio.
I was like, how is that? Like how is that? Like racist? And then when the next show came on, they basically broke it down and explained it all the way through because they did their research. Like, because I guess like the first show that I was listening to, like they got it fresh.
It was
new. It was new, so they couldn't really grasp like idea of it.
Right.
But the next people that the next show that I was listening to, those two actually went to Florida, so they had to get on their A game. So they was like, hold on, my school is a part of what? And you know, like, and they're two it's a white male and a white female, and like I love their show. Is because they're so for the change. They speak for, you know, the change and stuff like that. And so like I say, they did their research and they was just like, yo, they like when they started explaining it. Amber Wilson, her name's Amber Wilson. When she started explaining it, I was just like, yo, that's crazy, like. That, and like she was like, oh, if that is what it is, then like I want no part of that. And I was like, damn, like. Well,
but they put a stop to it, didn't they? Or
well, they said now, like because what it was like when they're playing the games, like the band will start like a little whoa, and then like the whole crowd would be like gator bait, and then like it's just like a continuous like chant and shit like that. And so now they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that no more.
I was reading that. All right, now let's get rid of the Redskins. You know, because a lot of these football teams. There's a lot of these football teams that they started, you know, with a lot like some racist ass names.
I was hearing that a lot. The Redskins.
And listen, y'all know that I don't really fuck with the NFL, so. Cap still don't got a job.
Well, he's not gonna get a job, but
Spit says that he wasn't gonna go.
He wasn't gonna get one back then. Look, he signed a deal with the a grievance deal, like with the NFL. Like they blackballed him for not getting a job.
Him.
Yeah, so they had to pay him out. And I'm telling y'all, within that agreement of him being paid out, I'm pretty sure it was a clause in there that he can't get in the NFL no more. If you're taking this blood money, you can. They're like, yo, you're taking the blood money from us, bro. We're getting about $60 million, boy. But you ain't playing in this NFL no more.
You don't think that he could probably be like a coach, even? No.
I mean, yeah, but they talking about putting his ass back in there though, like as like a third string quarterback, because like But I don't like it because it's like a token. It's like you're the token boy. Like, nah, nigga, like you Kaepernick now. You don't need to be in the NFL. Like, you need to be doing what you're doing right now. Like, you sacrificed like Maya Moore. Maya Moore stepped away from, like, I've been listening to a lot of shit lately, and I've been getting my A game up. And Maya Moore, she was in the WNBA. She was the top player in the WNBA, and she left the shit because her brother was wrongfully accused. So she fought the last 4 years to get her brother like exonerated. You understand me what I'm saying? Like, so it's like these are things that like
Claudia?
I would definitely.
Nice. It's just people out here doing, you know, they doing their part. So just, you know, I mean and shout out to Maya Moore for doing her part.
A movie that I definitely recommend for maybe someone who doesn't fully understand what's going on, or at least understand what has happened throughout the years when it comes to black men or even black women, black and brown people going to jail, is called If Beale Street Could Talk, and is based on the James Baldwin book by the same name. And it's a really good movie. I liked it because they have like the love aspect. Everyone loves a love story. Right. Everyone loves a love story.
We have to sell a movie now.
Yeah. But I mean, it was based on the book, so I'm really grateful that James Baldwin was able to bring love into a very painful story. And it's pretty much a young couple living in New York, and you know, they end up falling in love and like all this stuff. And what ends up happening is that a woman gets raped, right?
Oh fuck.
And then so a police officer claims that it was him, that it was the boyfriend. I can't remember his name, but so in the couple, they were saying that it was him who raped her, and so he ended up getting arrested, wrongfully arrested.
Oh, shit.
Then the woman who got raped, she did not want nothing to do with having to go to court. She ended up leaving to Puerto Rico. They tried to get the best lawyer. They tried to do all of these things. Now, mind you guys, this is in like this is like in the 1950s, 1960s or something like that. So they tried to get the best lawyer that they could get to try to get him out, because they truly believe that he didn't do it. The girlfriend's family is, you know, trying their hardest to like also help him and like all these things, because the thing is that he was with his lady and his homeboy at their house that day when they're saying that happened. But then the homeboy, he had just gotten out of jail, so he ain't want no problems. So he didn't want to like be like, yeah, no, I was, you know, because they were also being like, well, if you testify against it, then, you know, we might take you back to jail. So they used that against his homeboy. So he ended up going to jail for something that he didn't do, and he ended up missing out on very pivotal moments because his lady, while he was in jail, was pregnant. So like, she was pregnant before he went to jail.
Oh, okay, by him.
Yeah, right, by him. So, you know, she ended up having to take her kid to jail, and it's kind of like, I'm taking my son to go see his father in jail for something that he didn't do, but because he was black and no one truly cared enough to even like, you know, be like he didn't do it, because the police officer was just like, the police officer was actually was the same police officer who was giving them problems one time that they were at the grocery store. So it just gives you a look into the life of how sometimes people are wrongfully accused and end up spending time in jail for something that they didn't do. And for those of you, what sparked that was the exonerated word, because that's also something that Kim Kardashian has been doing. She's been helping. Yeah, she's been helping people. Out there. Bro, no lie. Okay, no lie. I watch her story every day. She's one of my favorite stories to watch because she's always posting something new, which is awesome. And then she's also posting the kids, but also what she's working on. So something that she posted was, "Hey, we still have time. A guy was gonna get the electric chair." And she said, "Hey guys, we still have time for this case to be reopened so that he doesn't get the electric chair." When I tell you that within 2 hours, she posted another story saying that they extended his thing and that his case was reopened. She saved that man's life.
And yo, man, fuck all that. Shout out to Kim Kardashian US.
Exactly. So I wanted to just go ahead and point those things out. Like I said, If Beale Street Could Talk is a really good movie. Another one that I've heard is The Hate That You Give. I haven't been able to read that book, but I mean I haven't been able to see that movie, but these are like movies that like because The Hate You Give is also like he he just went to go reach his comb and then he got shot because he just went to go reach his comb because I was gonna make a joke, but I was gonna say because he had to like comb his his waves. But it sucks because
you gotta say it.
No, I know.
You gotta say it though.
But the thing is, because that's what it was. He was being saucy.
Right,
you know what I mean? He was kind of like, man, these fools ain't gonna do nothing to me, and and then because he went to go reach for his comb. And then it's a whole
fucked up, man.
I know, and he's oh my god, guys, that season finale. I'm fucking insecure. Okay, so the battery's being changed right now, you guys. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get real quick into the season finale of Insecure. If you have not seen the show, sucks to be you, because I'm gonna give a whole bunch of spoilers. So spoiler alert. Damn. Canola Oil is pregnant by Lawrence's baby. That's not her real name. Her name is Condola, but we call her Canola Oil on the Twitter land because fuck that bitch.
Damn. Okay.
And also, Nathan and Issa have been trying to see what is going on, even though Issa and Lawrence are trying to see what's going on. Andrew broke up with Molly. Molly had it coming. Molly was being a bitch. And what else? Oh, Issa and Molly end up trying to make their friendship better. I know this is a lot for what you guys don't know because you guys don't watch the show, but it was a really good episode. Like I said, Condola, which was Lawrence's ex, which was Issa's homegirl. If you don't watch the show, you don't know what I'm talking about. The boys are looking at me like, the boys are looking at me like, what the fuck? But I'm really excited. I'm really happy how the show ended, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing for the next season. I've been watching the show since the beginning, so I've been rewatching the show from the beginning, so I've kind of been able to like piece certain things and be like, okay,
this is foreshadowing.
Yeah, like this is foreshadowing this. This is like today I came up with one of the really coolest foreshadowings when I was with my sister and my sister-in-law, and it was really dope. Because then they were like, oh shit, she was acting like that. She was acting like that, so that means
Ain't it crazy when someone confirms your conspiracy theory?
Yeah, exactly. And it was because for those that watch the show, it was Condola. Let me not be an asshole. Condola. Yeah, Condola. On Instagram, they call her Condoleezza Rice.
Condolences to Condola.
Yeah, they call her condolences. They call her because she's like the other bitch.
Damn.
You know, she's.
How did I know condolences?
She's the one that that they're like oh, that Issa and Lawrence together, and then like 2020, like that she's 2020 to ruin everybody's plans.
All right.
So.
Damn, they going in on her.
They going in on her.
No, man, listen, Insecure fans are the best. Shout out to y'all.
They be in her comments too, huh?
Yeah. No, you know whose comments they be in? They
Okay.
be in Molly, because Molly this season she was kind of going through it. So then the actress who plays Molly has been getting all the slack. They've been like,
y'all need to chill, man.
Yeah, it's really funny. Oh, by the way, guys, I saw Yvonne Orji's stand-up comedy on HBO, and it was really good. I've always loved her, and I've always enjoyed her humor because she gives you a look into her life and her super Nigerian family, and just like how strict she had to grow up, and how her parents are never going to be satisfied as happy as, like, for them, like the ultimate happiness for her is getting married and the grandkids. Like, she graduated with her master's, she went to school, she's on one of the best HBO shows ever, she she's very successful in so many different areas of her life, but it's like she says that her parents is just like what is it that they say, I can die happy once you this and that.
Get married or something.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you guys go ahead and check her comedy special out, because
definitely
it was a really good look into her life. It was cool because they did it in her hometown in Washington, D.C., but they also went to Nigeria to visit her parents, so you also got to kind of see that aspect of it as well.
I like when they do that in stand.
Yeah, I love it because it was like in between the story. Like while she was doing the stand-up, it would like fade out and then go to like what she's talking about. So it'll be like it'll be like funny stuff. So yeah, so shout out to her. I wanted to also give a shout out to Teyana Taylor and that new album that she just dropped. So fucking bomb. Listen, Teyana Taylor got me looking at somebody's son really different because
Go ahead, player.
Stop. Because it's just so fucking sexy. Like, I love it. And I love that type of Teyana Taylor. And last album, she only gave us, what, like 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks. I don't remember. I know it was like less than 10.
Shout out Kanye.
Yeah, it was less than 10 tracks, and now she gave us over 20 tracks. So shout out to Teyana Taylor. She has really good features on it. She has Rick Ross. She has Big Sean. She has Missy, Future. She has her. Oh my God. She starts the album with the phone call. Well, first of all, with Iman proposing to her, but then with the phone call of Iman calling 911 because he was the one who had to deliver Junie, which is their baby. So, yeah, that to me, that's so beautiful. Crazy. To me, that's so beautiful because it's just like, yo, he's a basketball player and he just delivered his baby.
So when she said that bar, just me, Iman, and her daughter on the bathroom floor, she was being real when she said that bar. That's hard.
Yeah, it was because he had to.
Real.
He had
Where's
to,
the love? That's the track I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Fire.
he had to deliver her. And so you get to hear the 911. I had heard it before, and I think I heard that he was the one who delivered her. So I knew that part of the story, but it was really nice. And then the next song is literally the song that Junie is in, and she sounds so good in it. So it's like instantly, like, you just feel like an emotional attachment, and then you hear Ross's velvety voice that is just so beautiful. I love Ross.
Shout out to the big boss.
Yes, and also Wale also dropped a project this week as well. So shout out to Wale. Y'all know I love me some Wale. And the other person that I wanted to shout out that dropped a song today was Hav. Y'all make sure that y'all check out his song. It's called Girls. You can find it any and everywhere on your DSPs. And guys, we also have the lyrics up on there so you can read what the fuck my dog talking about.
Thanks. And we also have the video that's up on the Dub TV on YouTube, so you can check that out. And that has lyrics too, but also like the video kind of depicts everything that I say, so you can just check that out too.
Facts.
Amen. Is there anything that you guys would like to add to go ahead and close out the episode?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I feel like I've been blocking spits the whole time, but basically that we got me and my
Juneteenth,
boy. Me and my boy. Oh damn, really? Damn. But basically next week on Friday, June 26th is Dwayne Wade's anniversary. Well, basically the draft day of Dwayne Wade, and actually one of the best drafts that happened in NBA history.
I would say.
But basically, me and Spitz, I say all that to say, me and Spitz got a tape that's coming out, in a tribute to that. So yeah, shout out to Dwayne Wade. We're gonna get all that up. And 3 tracks. Shout out to PA2 for helping us out with that one. And yeah, be tuned for that. I don't know what Clay's trying to do, so I'm trying to like talk while she says.
I was trying to press the Dub one.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Anything else, Spitz, that you wanted to add to that?
Nah, yeah, be ready for the legacy.
I'm excited for that. I love Dub music. I love my label forever. I know that both of these, you know what? Both of y'all got Dub tatted on you except me, so I'm gonna have to get it.
I was just about to say that tag.
I think that's next. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time that I get one. So I probably might just get like the actual emblem on me though. I think that'd be cool.
Bleed this shit.
Yeah, for real. So was there anything? Nothing else? Nothing? No? Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. Make sure that you're not just supporting a black business today because it's Juneteenth. Make sure that you're doing it today and every single day. If you want to buy something, just think to yourself, can I buy this from a black-owned business? And if you can, just go ahead and buy it from them. It's that simple.
Can I buy black?
Yeah. Some of the
you also could stream black music too.
Oh, that was something that I wanted to say because it is Black Music History Month. So I wanted you guys to share one of your favorite black artists.
Kanye motherfucking West for the culture.
Happy birthday to my dog.
Yeah, happy birthday to the GOAT.
Well, I'm gonna go with the guy who was on my shirt because just a pioneer. I feel like he mastered his craft. His genetics were so strong. His whole family, the legacy that he even started with that. So I just fuck with the legacy that. And we only smoke Bar Marley papers, so salute to that.
I wanted to celebrate Teyana Taylor because of the album that she just dropped, but not only that, I also feel like just everything that she has done. She has her own production company as far as directing the music videos. She's a wonderful mom. She's actually pregnant right now, and She's also an artist that, okay, I'm not that big on people using like samples and stuff like that, but I realized that someone that did it a lot was Mary J. Blige, and I love Mary J. Blige. So I had to like come to terms with that. That's just going to happen in music. But Teyana Taylor, listening to this project, she sampled songs that I would want to hear her on. So just that alone to me is something that it just needs. Because if you can get on a song that is already popping and kind of make it your own and not remember that song as much, I feel like you've done a well job, and I feel like she continues to do that. And she's still young, so I just see her like flourishing like beyond like what's happening right now. So I did want to celebrate her.
I should have said Pusha T for it could be in all good music.
We'll try again. Better next episode.
Well,
next
no,
week.
I mean, I would. Bob Marley is,
That's a perfect.
awesome. Because somebody else that I would say that's a man is Barris Hammond, which he's also a Jamaican. He's a reggae artist, and he's like a Barry White kind of vibe of reggae artist, and I freaking love him. So shout out to him too. We'll do the little
double dip.
A little double dip.
Little double dip.
Just cause. But yeah, so thank you guys again for tuning in to this week's episode. I appreciate it. I can't believe it's 125 episodes. If I can say one thing for anybody that's out there listening is that listen, it doesn't matter. If you want to start something, you go ahead and do it. If you have something that you want to create, go ahead and create it. No one can take it away from you. Make sure that you own your own shit. That way no one can tell you shit. And you do it your way, on your terms, your time, with your money. Remember not to just be an owner, but to also be an investor. So invest in yourself, in your brand, and drink your water and mind your business. Also wash your hands and your ass.
Facts.
Guys, it's
Thumbs
been a
up.
pleasure.
Always.
I appreciate
Thanks
you
for
guys so
having us.
much. Make sure you guys tune in next week for episode 126
Of the Ambition Alley Podcast.
and for the 125th time in a motherfucking row, it's your girl Claudia Renee on your airwaves, and we are out of here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna get a gun.